Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I am Jerri Banks, and this is Navigating the Future of Trucking. I have not seen you guys in a bit. We have been running a few previously recorded shows, and the reason why is because I have been away. And when I say away, I have been on the other side of the globe. Um, I'm going to see if I can pull up a few pictures to show you. But you guys know, I am on both sides of the trucking and transportation world, as well as the aviation world. So I kind of mesh and merge those two things together. So trucking and aviation, and it's all under the transportation umbrella. It's all under the Department of Transportation. And I often tell drivers when I'm talking to them is that, hey, you are held to the same standards as a pilot. So um, act like it and make sure that you treat your license, your class A CDL, as gold as they treat their pilot license as gold, because again, you are held to the same standards. So I do work on the transportation trucking side, and I do work on the transportation aviation side. And so this past week and a half, I have been across the globe in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And so let me see if I can show you a couple pictures of me. It was all work. Let me say there was a little play, but it was mostly work. And during that entire time, I was just working, working. Let me see if I can pull. Oh, there's me. There's me. I was at that's nearby the Formula One. So they do the Formula One racing there in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and so that's a pier near near the Formula One racing. Let me see if I can pull up a couple of other pics. So yeah, this is your girl in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. That's the Jeddah sign. You know, you see it in LAX. You see the LAX in IH. In Houston, we have our big IH letters as well. But that is the Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. That's right outside the airport. While we were there, and oh, that's us. You know, going down. We were doing some tours. We were just kind of seeing the city, rich culture, rich heritage, a lot of architecture, beautiful architecture. I absolutely loved being there. It was hot, though. It was hot. Just like Texas, our heat is very similar, except our heat is humid here in Texas. We have a humid heat, and the city does not come alive until evening time, when the sun has gone down and it's evening time. But that's us driving on our little tour. And I think I have one more picture of us at oh, again, that's at the Red Sea area right there, off of the Red Sea. And then I think that's it. Oh, that's us at the fish market. We went to the fish market and got to get some of the fish, and got it gutted and all of those things. And I grew up gutting fish with my grandpa and my uncle, so I know how to do those things. But no, it was a great opportunity. Able to be able I'm grateful to be able to travel the globe with some amazing customers and some amazing clients that I work with in aviation. Have a couple more trips coming up over the next couple months, so I'll be sharing my journeys with you guys. Um, but again, thank you for being here. I am Jerri Banks, and on this show, what we talk about is we talk about autonomy. We talk about automation. We talk about new technologies and just AI and new things that are coming into the transportation industry, whether it's trucking, whether it's aviation, whether it's railroad. Those are the things that are changing the way our industry is moving. And it's also changing things that you need to be doing as an individual, as a worker in the transportation industry. We also share traditional truck driving jobs. I also talk about jobs in the autonomous sector. And so these jobs in the autonomous sector, whether it's an automation job, whether it's an autonomous vehicle job, but these are jobs where you can take your current skills and you can combine them with new skills and be a game changer for someone's company. And then lastly, on the learning lane, every show I do a learning lane. And in the learning lane, I share actionable tips, things that you can take and you can use right now to help you upskill and reskill for the new future that our industry is moving into. So, again, I thank you for being here. We'll take a break, and then I have a lot of things packed in that I want to show you and talk about with you. So, we'll be right back.
I'm Jerri Banks. Our agency focuses on driver recruitment and driver education. We focus on helping drivers and preparing them for the future of trucking and transportation as autonomous vehicles and automation enters the industry. Our goal is to ensure that you are equipped with the skills that you need to be successful in this new way of life. So make sure you connect with me across all of my platforms. Jerri Banks, Autonomous Trucking. I look forward to connecting with you.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I want to say hello to all of my friends over on TikTok. Hello, Jay. Hello, Fire. Thank you guys for liking and loving the live. Thank you for being here. Hello again, and welcome to all of my friends on YouTube as well. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you are following me over on TikTok because I'm here every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, helping you prepare for what the future of transportation looks like, for helping you prepare for what the future of trucking looks like. So again, make sure you are connected with me across all of my platforms. But I want to talk. I had some interesting conversations over my during my time in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, and one of the conversations that I had was with the owner of an aviation company. And I compare aviation to trucking because it's very, very similar in the fact that you are delivering goods, in the fact that you are working with customers, you're seeing customers, and your customers can be internal, which are your coworkers, your peers, your colleagues, things like that. But your customers, which we all know, are your external customers, which is your customers that you're delivering the freight to. If you're in aviation, it's your passengers, it's your freight forwarders. All of these are your customers. And so as we are moving into a more automated world, as we're moving into a world where we're seeing more and more AI into our life, into our work, into our home, and things like that, we have to continuously level up. And so I was meeting with this client, and one of the things that he was saying, because we were talking about building and expanding his team. And one of the things that he was saying when we were talking about bringing on more people is the skills. He wanted to talk more about the skills that they had to have. And so we discussed the nice to have skills, which if you've been following me and watching me for any time, you know that I call those nice to have skills, I call those desirables. So, in a sense, we were talking about his desirables, what he wants in his workers, and those required skills, especially like in trucking and things like that. Those required skills are going to be your MBR, having a good, clean MBR. It's going to be, having a Class A CDL. It's going to be passing the DOT drug screen. All of those things are required. Like, we know those. You got to be a safe driver. You got to, check all those boxes on that application. But it's the nice to haves and the desirables that are even more important in an automated, tech driven, autonomous, AI driven world. And so he stressed the importance of the need for individuals who are not just repetitive, task workers, basically. So if a repetitive task worker is somebody who does the same thing every single day in and day out, you just, putting the thing in the box, putting in the thing in the box. And then when something happens, you don't know how to move. You don't know how to think outside of that box that you've been putting that thing in. And so what he was saying is that he's looking for an individual who's not just repetitive, who's not just used to a monotonous day in, day out, the job. He's looking for individuals that are thinkers, individuals that think outside the box, individuals that know how to solve problems creatively and know how to think about solving those problems and coming up with those solutions. Individuals who could take care of the customer. That's a whole nother level. And especially if you're on the trucking side, you don't really think about the customer as your customer. But the customer is the reason why you're here. That shipper is the reason why you're here. That freight is the reason why you're here. And so I want you to really start thinking about the customer from that perspective. And so one of the things that really stood out to me was he wants people that have a no is not an answer type attitude. Like if you're just accustomed to saying no, I can't do that, or no, we're not gonna be able to do that, or no, no, that's not that. This isn't the position for you. This isn't the company for you. And I tell you, I really want you to think about this, that no is not the answer attitude, because when you have you always saying no, you always saying no, you're not thinking outside of the box. You're not thinking of other ways to solve problems. You're not thinking of ways to go above and beyond. And that's what these companies are looking for right now, today. Because in a world where automation and autonomy and robots and AI and all of those things are your coworker, because they are going to be your coworker. In a world where they're your coworker, they're always continuously thinking of solutions. They're always working behind the scenes to make things happen. And so you have to be that complement to those new automated systems. You have to be that complement to the AI and the autonomy. And so when you are a thinker, when you are a creative thinker, when you do think outside the box, that's the kind of person that these companies are looking for right now. So if putting pegs in holes and doing the same thing over and over and over again every single day, the same thing, if that's your jam, that won't be your jam for long. Okay. And for those of you that, you know, do think outside the box, those of you that are the creative thinkers, those of you that do take care of the customer, this whole shift in the future of work that we're moving to, where a shift where you are being adaptable, a shift where you are a creative thinker, a shift where you are customer focused and you're focused on problem solving. Those are the things that's going to be important and imperative. And so, as a worker in the trucking and transportation or aviation or railroad, all of those things, as a worker in transportation, it's going to be vital and crucial that you prepare for all of these skills that I'm talking about and set yourself apart from everybody else, because that's the only way that you're going to win. And so you want to prioritize, make customer service first, like just practice your customer service skills out there when you're dealing with customers, when you're dealing with your coworkers. Because look, I know sometimes your coworkers get on your nerves, okay? But practice that effective communication, practice working in a team, practice empathy. All of these things are going to be what takes you to that next level, because we're about to get to a place where we see you either here or you're either here. All right. And as we move into these places, when we see you're either above everyone else or you're either below everyone else, your paycheck is also going to be determined by that as well. And so I think it's just really important to bring that I wanted to share that and bring that to the forefront, because that's the thought process of one CEO. It is becoming more and more the process of a lot of CEOs. All right. And you want to be able to complement the technology. You want to be able to complement the AI and the autonomy and the robots and all of those things. You don't want them to complement you. Let me say it again for the people in the back that didn't hear me. The AI, the autonomous trucks, the robots, the artificial, all of those things, the automation, you want it to complement you. You don't want to complement it, right? And so those that get it, right? Those that get it, what I'm saying, they get it. And so there's so many ways that you can start by building up your skills. And I call it upskilling and reskilling. Upskilling and reskilling. Thank you so much for the likes. I love that. There's online platforms. Coursera is a great platform. Udemy, LinkedIn Learning. If you don't have a LinkedIn account, I encourage you to get one. That's where all your leaders are. That's where all your standout people are, the leaders in these top companies. You want to look and seek out courses in creative problem solving. You want to seek out courses in customer service, in technology related fields, analysts, anything to do with data, automation, AI. All of these platforms for free, most of them are for free. But these platforms provide like the flexibility for you to learn at your own pace. So if you're a trucker and you're sitting in your truck and you're waiting at the shipper, you can knock out a module or two, right? These certifications and completing these types of courses look really, really good on your resume, but they also look good in a lot of drivers fill out 10th Street, the 10th Street application. Driver Pulse is what you call it. We call it 10th Street, you call it Driver Pulse. But in Driver Pulse, there's places where it asks you, about your education. There's places where it asks you about, any safety awards or any certifications that you've gotten recently. Those things show that you're working and you're wanting to learn and you're taking the initiative to learn on your own. So online learning platforms, workshops and seminars, joining mentorship programs, seeking out mentorship programs in your organization, but also in the industry that can help you be able to learn from experienced professionals and get some of that knowledge to be able to grow and build up your skill set. And then some of you are working at some really good companies that offer in house training programs that will help you boost up some of these skills. And so seek those out, look into those. Look at your local community college. These are all places where you can build and grow your skills. And then lastly, of course, I'm going to say, make sure you stay connected with me. Make sure you stay connected with me to learn more tips, to learn more tools that just are going to be important to add to your toolbox, because I'm always dropping gems to put in your toolbox. And this toolbox is going to be exactly what you need as you prepare for the future of work, the future of trucking, the future of automation, the future of autonomy. These are all things that are going to help you and elevate you to a whole nother level. And so I just thought that was really, really important to share, that this CEO wasn't just looking for somebody to put pegs in holes. He was looking for somebody that is a thinker, that thinks outside the box, that is creative thinking and is on another level. And so that's where we're going. That's where we're going. And if you're not ready to get on that bus, I think you better find another bus to ride, because that's where the bus is going in transportation. Let's take a break. And when we come back, I'm going to talk about truck drivers and autonomous trucks, a powerful partnership for America's future. We'll be right back.
When it comes to autonomous trucks entering the trucking and transportation industry, up until now, you've only heard bits and pieces, news here, news there. There's been no centralized place for you to learn about autonomous trucks. Join me every Wednesday and Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time as I share information, news, and education on how you can stay prepared for autonomous trucks and autonomy entering the trucking and transportation industry.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. I want to share an article, and this is an article from courtesy of Fleet Owner. Thank you so much, Fleet Owner, for this amazing article. But it is about a powerful partnership for America's future. And it just kind of talks about that Baltimore bridge collapse. We all remember how I remember sitting and watching that. It was so heart wrenching just to see the cars fall into the harbor there, and it was heart wrenching. But it brought and highlighted how crucial the role of trucking is in our economy. And it talks about this article talks about the growing demand and a driver shortage. And a lot of you will talk about the driver shortage and say, oh, there's no driver shortage, there's no, there's a driver shortage, right? But the driver shortage isn't what some of these companies make it to be. The driver shortage is that there's a shortage of qualified drivers. There's a shortage of drivers that, that are unable to drive, whether it's safe driving record, whether it's, violations in the clearinghouse, whether it's terminations, getting fired, like all of those things dwindles down the number of qualified drivers in the industry. And so this article kind of talks about and highlights that shortage, but it also highlights the future of trucking and how we're facing a major challenge with the shortage of drivers that I just named. Plus, younger drivers trying to come into the industry, newer, older drivers leaving the industry. But it talks about autonomous trucks offering a solution, not by replacing the drivers, but by working alongside the driver. And so when I say working alongside the driver, that it perfectly ties into the last segment where I said the autonomy and the automation and the robots and the AI and all the things will you want it to complement you. You don't want to complement it. And so you want to be a complement to these autonomous trucks as a solution. And so of course, there's economic benefits. They are projected to create jobs. They're projected to boost the economy and also increase efficiency in the transportation industry. And it's going to build a new workforce. The autonomous vehicle industry is actively, investing in job trainings. There's companies that are partnering with local community colleges. I know Aurora in Pittsburgh partners with a local Pitt community college there. And so there's so many opportunities to be able to join in some of these job training programs, to be able to get these skills that you need for this new technological landscape, because the landscape is changing and we are seeing it change more and more and more. And so I'll include this link into the description box of this article. And that way you can kind of take a look at it and just really understand all that they're saying in regards to autonomous trucks coming into the industry, the Department of Transportation projecting that autonomous trucks are going to create 35,100 new jobs annually over the next 30 years. 35,100 new jobs each year over the next 30 years. And so it talks about, I talked about Aurora's partnership with Pittsburgh Technical College. That's one partnership. They're also investing in job training and apprenticeship programs and degree programs, just across the U.S. So I encourage you, if this is something that you want to think about, or you're looking into, or you're looking at possibly a change, a career change, this is definitely the future. This is definitely a future. I have a son that's graduating high school, and tech and automation and all of the things are what we're pushing him in towards, so that he can be prepared for a future that is quickly and rapidly changing. The next thing I want to show you is a post. And I periodically share posts with you guys, because I know some of you are on some of these platforms, but a lot of you aren't on the LinkedIn platform. And LinkedIn is where a lot of information is shared in regards to autonomous trucks and the future of trucking and where our industry is going. And so this post here, and let me pull up the picture. Let's see here. This post is courtesy of Torque Robotics. Yes, there it is. And so Torque Robotics, they're doing some amazing things. They were just in Texas. As you can see, this is the Texas Highway Patrol. And they're trucks are getting ready to start roaming around and navigating around the Lone Star State, Texas, state of Texas. And so they recently met with first responders and government agencies to share and talk about, so that they can know what's going on in the state and make that connection. And so these are the guys and gals that do a really good job in serving our community and making our roadways safe. And so they connected their autonomous trucks and gave them the opportunity to take a look at them, to check them all out. But again, collaboration and education, educating the public, educating the law enforcement officials. This was a recent event that was held in Texas by Torque Robotics, just to continue to fuel and push and drive the future of freight. Driving the future of freight. That's exactly what these guys are doing. And so a few of the companies. So you've got Torque Robotics, you've got Aurora Innovation, you've got Kodiak Robotics, you've got Gaddick AI, they're out of Dallas. And so we're seeing, and then you've got Waybe. Those are really the top 5 autonomous trucking companies that are out there. And so we're seeing them do and increase their routes, add more routes, more lanes across the state of Texas and across the southern United States. So you'll be seeing them on the roadways next to you. Make sure you are not surprised when you see an autonomous truck, or you see a driver that's not doesn't have his hands on the steering wheel. Let's take a break. We'll be right back.
I'm Jerri Banks. Our agency focuses on driver recruitment and driver education. We focus on helping drivers and preparing them for the future of trucking and transportation as autonomous vehicles and automation enters the industry. Our goal is to ensure that you are equipped with the skills that you need to be successful in this new way of life. So make sure you connect with me across all of my platforms. Jerri Banks, Autonomous Trucking. I look forward to connecting with you.
I'm saying hello to all my folks over there on TikTok. If you guys don't connect with me, make sure that you are connected with me across all of my platforms. Look, they're on TikTok. They sending roses, they sending hearts, and those little heart hands and all the things. So make sure you guys are connected with me across all of my platforms. Jerri Banks Autonomous Trucking or Jerri Banks Future of Trucking. Now, if you have not already downloaded the ebook, I want you to stop what you're doing right now and visit our website and download my free ebook. And so the ebook it's called Preparing You for a Future of Autonomous Trucking. And what it does, and it's right here on the screen, Preparing You for Autonomous Trucks. And this is for the future. It's not tomorrow. You know, it's not, right now. They're already out there right now, but we're not going to see like a slew of autonomous trucks just start coming on the roadways. But we do see them. They are there. Kodiak just talked about 3 million miles, 3 million miles of delivering goods and freight autonomously. So it's not a matter of if they're coming. It's not a matter of when they're coming. It's a matter of they're here right now. And it's also a matter of you preparing and planning and getting your career ready, upskilling and reskilling and getting those necessary skills that you need to set you apart from everybody else that's saying, oh, I don't need to do that. Or, oh, I don't need to, learn anything. I'm just going to stay right where I am. So if you have not already downloaded the book, I want you to stop right now and download the book. It's on our website. But yes, they are already on the roads. The majority of the autonomous vehicles have been, moving live loads throughout the southern United States. And so this book, it talks about, the lanes that they're running on. It talks about who the top 5 autonomous companies are, who their partners are. And so a lot of you probably already work with some of their large partners: CR England, US Express, Werner, Tyson Foods, Kroger, Uber Freight, Georgia Pacific. If you're moving freight for any of those, know that you're also sharing those loads with autonomous trucks. And so it's a matter of, what are you doing right now to prepare your career for what's to come? Hey, Larry, good morning. How you doing? Larry's over on TikTok. He's saying hi. Let me say hello to, and there is Risky 33. Hello, love. It has been a minute. I hope you're doing well, beautiful. Thank you so much for stopping by the show and saying hello. I appreciate you for being here. And that moves me right to our truck driving job that we're talking about today. And so today it's an over the road / regional position. And so I have a couple of openings, but from an experience perspective, for this position, you need at least 3 months in the last 12 months. It is over the road, and your experience has to have been over the road. And what I tell drivers, especially new drivers coming into the industry, is that, because I'll have a driver come and tell me, oh, I have 5 months. And then once I stop and break it down with the driver, they don't have 5 months. They have, 3 months of training, or 2 months with a trainer, or I'm hoping you got 2 months with a trainer. But a lot of drivers aren't getting 2 months with a trainer. They're getting 2 weeks with a trainer. And then, out there on your own. And so these companies, they look for verifiable experience, not during school. School experience does not count. And they want that experience, especially your first 3 months. When my son first got his license, it was important for me as a recruiter, to make sure that I let him know, and his mentors, because I connected him with so many mentors out there, that don't be hopping around. Don't hop around 3, 4, 5 jobs in your first 6 months, because you're breaking up your experience. Mac the Mother Trucker says 2 weeks with a trainer is scary. Look, I've had drivers tell me that not only did they not get 2 weeks with a trainer, but they did their 10 days, 3 days orientation, and then the 7 days. And then at the end of that 7 days, they took a road test. And if they passed that road test, it was like, go on, get your truck. So be careful where you're going. Because if you're just getting your license, you want to ensure that you're getting the necessary training out there. Okay. Because there's a lot of companies out there that aren't the best trainers, and they will put you right on out there, and you're not ready. And so that's why I say don't break up your training. Like if you're with a company, get there, stick it out. Even because my son he was making 35 cents a mile when he first started, and he was crying every day. I said, look, stick it out. Okay. Stick it out as long as you can, as best you can, because one, you don't want a lot of jobs. And in the industry has been on a slump because trucking is cyclical, right? It goes up and it goes down. But we've been on the down slump for a long time, a long time, maybe 2 years now. We've been on that little down slump. But um, and when the industry is, because I've seen the industry on its high and I've seen the industry on its low. And when the industry on it is on its high, look, the insurance requirements, the hiring requirements, they're a little lax at some companies. But when the industry is on a down slump, when the cycle is down and they just doing enough to get by, they are really, really, really particular on who they hire. No, not looking at you better not have a termination in the last 3 years. Your MBR better be impeccable. It's really, really crucial right now, and that's the time we're in. And so companies are being very, very, they're scrutinizing applications more closely. They're looking at why you were off, how long you were off, and so many other things that are really that when they would normally take this type of driver or normally take that situation a couple of years ago, or on a up period, they're not doing that anymore. And so that's why the job hopping right now, it's an absolute no-no. It's an absolute no-no. So make sure that you try to stick it out as best you can with one company, because this particular job that we have, they want you to have at least no more than 3 jobs in the last 3 years. Okay, no more than 3 jobs in the last 3 years. Average pay for a regional is $1,200 to $1,400 a week. That's roughly averaging about 2,500 to 2,600 miles a week. They do have a over the road position. That over the road is 1,500 plus a week. OTR drivers are out 3 weeks at a time. They're home for 3 days. The regional drivers are out 7 to 9 days and earning a day, accruing a day for every 7 days out. So roughly your 34-hour reset, probably get a day and a half when you come home if you're a regional driver. But it's 85, it's about mostly drop and hook. So 85 to 90% drop and hook. Some drivers will unload using electric pallet jack. And they do pay you for the unloading, so that is a little bit extra. But you got to be able to get in and out of the truck physically. And then they do take pets on this particular position. But there is a deposit. Most companies that I work with, our team works with, they do require a deposit. Some of them do, some of them don't, but require a deposit for pets. And this particular instance, it is $500, and they take out $50 each check. $50 each check. Let me tap in and take a look at some of my comments. If that job interests you and it sounds like something you might be interested in, text or call driver, the word driver, to 832-572-5277. And the girls are standing by to help you out with that position or any other position. See what else they have in your area that may work for you. But let me check in. Larry says, good morning. Mac, the mother trucker, says, I love your information. Thank you, Mac. I appreciate that. He says, oh, hey, Chicken Hauler and Samantha. How y'all doing? Mac, the mother trucker, says, I sold my trucks in December 2022. Okay, December 2022. What was going on? Okay. Three trucks. It was a seller's market. Yes, it was a seller's market back then. $3.75 a mile. Went to $2 a mile. So I took some time off. What you doing now? Let me know what you're doing now, Mac the mother trucker. Yeah, it was 2022 was good times. 2023, at the beginning of 2023, we started seeing the gradual decline of going from, like he said, $3.75 a mile to less than $2 a mile. So it took some time off. I'd love to know what you're doing right now, Mac the mother trucker. And look, guys, make sure you're tapped into me. As Max says, he loves the information that I shared, that I share over on TikTok, that I share over here on YouTube. Make sure that you guys are tapped into me and following me across all of my social media platforms, because one, I'm going to keep you in the know. I'm going to keep you in the loop on everything that I found out in regards to automation, autonomy, skills that are going to help you improve and grow as we move into this new future of trucking and transportation, and just automation in general. Automation, AI, all of the things. I was actually watching a movie last night with my husband, um, on Netflix, and I fell asleep. Okay, I am gonna fall asleep every movie. It doesn't matter what we're watching. I don't care how good the movie is, and it was a great movie. I am still gonna fall asleep. Okay, I know that, but because I'm my best self anytime before 5 p.m. All right, you get me after 5, and then I don't know who you might get. All right, but the movie was on Netflix, and I want you to go check it out because it is a very futuristic movie. And I'm a dystopian, futuristic movie type person. I mean, look at what I talk about. But the movie is called Atlas, and it's with J-Lo, Jennifer Lopez. And it's on Netflix, and I want you to watch it, and I want you to come back, and I want you to comment, and I want you to let me know what you thought about that movie. But I think that movie is so real. It's so real. It could so happen. But those are the types of movies that I love to watch. Other than Gladiator, my all-time favorite movie is Gladiator. If you haven't watched Gladiator, I don't know, you've been living under a rock. Okay. But that is my all-time favorite movie. Before we go to the learning lane and begin wrapping up the show today, I want to just again make sure that you're tapped in. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Follow me across all of my platforms. We'll be right back.
When it comes to autonomous trucks entering the trucking and transportation industry, up until now, you've only heard bits and pieces, news here, news there. There's been no centralized place for you to learn about autonomous trucks. Join me every Wednesday and Thursday and Friday at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time as I share information, news, and education on how you can stay prepared for autonomous trucks and autonomy entering the trucking and transportation industry.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I was just saying hello to my family over there on TikTok. Got a handful of people over there watching, and the learning lane. So the learning lane is probably my most favorite part of the show, and I kind of talked a little bit earlier in one of the earlier segments, but I just want to stress that knowledge is power, and to stress that you educating yourself is only going to help to set you apart from everybody else that's like trying to come in on the back burner on at the last minute, fourth quarter, they trying to figure it out, right? We here in the pregame and the first quarter getting ready for the kickoff, figuring this out together and upskilling and reskilling and preparing for a new future that our industry is moving into. And so over the last couple of weeks, I've kind of talked about, prioritizing safety and making sure your MVR is good and building a strong reputation. And we talked about regulations and different things like that. All of those things help you to achieve long-term success in this industry. But I'm talking to my truckers now. I'm talking to my truckers. And so I want you to think about several other ways and several other things that you can do as a professional truck driver to boost your income. And so some of those things and I've said it in the past, but I'll say it again, is to become, and stay, because staying is the most important thing, specialized. I have so many drivers that'll tell me, oh, I had hazmat, 20 years ago or 10 years ago, I had that hazmat. I didn't never use it. I didn't do nothing with it. And so I just didn't get it again. Well, here's your cue to go get it again, right? Because those specialized loads and getting in that type of freight and getting those additional endorsements on your Class A is only going to help to expand your skills as a driver and expand your worth as a driver. Flatbed, oversized, overdimensional, hazmat, tanker, these are all areas that not necessarily will be impacted or affected or even touched by automation, by autonomy, by robots, because it always requires that human touch. And so when you get specialized, when you get these endorsements, you only increase your opportunities to make more money over the lifetime of your career. And so I just want to reiterate and close the show by talking about continuous learning and continuous development, because you can stay the same, right? And be okay. You can just be okay by staying the same, by not ever learning nothing, by not ever growing. But those that do grow, there's those that do learn, those that stay ahead of the curve by engaging in continuous development, by going to industry workshops, by taking those online courses I was talking about, by getting those certifications, those endorsements, that enhances your value to somebody's company. That only enhances your value to someone's company. And this isn't my granddaddy's trucking industry anymore. This isn't my daddy's trucking industry. My Uncle Freddie is not his trucking industry anymore. This is a new industry with new requirements, new skill sets. And so I just implore you to look into other ways that you can improve your skills, upskill, reskill, be willing to learn, be willing to adjust and adapt and be flexible. Because that's the only way that you're going to survive in an industry where we're seeing more automation, we're seeing autonomy, we're seeing AI, we're seeing robots. There is a robot at warehouses now. There's robots at some of these warehouses. Walmart is adding autonomous forklifts in their distribution centers. We're seeing it more and more. And you want to have that autonomy and that technology and that AI, all of those things, that automation, you want to have it complement you. You don't want to be the complement. Okay. So in tomorrow's show, I'm going to talk about the power of people skills. Okay. Because the power of your people skills are going to take you so far. And the reason why I want to talk about it is because the World Economic Forum did a study back in 2019. And this study said that 85% of the jobs that will exist in 2030 have not even been invented yet. They haven't even been invented. But these jobs are going to require strong social, strong emotional skills, and strong people skills. And it's going to show us how important the people skills are going to be. Studies like this, they really just give us a glimpse at how important those types of skills are going to be in an automated future, where your technical skills are important, where your safety skills are important, but they're not enough to be successful. They're not enough in tomorrow's future of transportation to be successful. And so tomorrow I'm going to talk about and explore the importance of having good people skills and talk about how building strong relationships and knowing how to resolve conflict, knowing how to take care of that customer, of that CEO that I talked about earlier in the show, knowing how to deal with those difficult situations and knowing how to think outside of the box, how important that is going to be in the future of work. So, again, thank you for being here. I'm so grateful for you. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure that you are always tapped into my social media platforms when I go live, when I drop a new video. Hello to my TikTok family. Mac the Mother Trucker says facts. I don't know what I said, but he said facts about it. Okay, so you better listen to him because he knows this industry. He's been in the industry for many, many years. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. See ya.